to the side that Bolts is on again, and he'll catch it at about the 3, and he'll take it. Hesitation at the 10. Still working from left to right, but then the Bruins will rally and bring him down shy of the 15-yard line. Great special teams defense there by the Bruins.
Yeah, the South Florence kicker has been doing this all year long. Bolts is going to get opportunities because our South Florence always kicks it into the right corner almost every single time, and they often stop them around the 15 to 10-yard line because of what happens. They start trying to run across the field like that young man did, trying to get around the whole defense. Tackled every time we've seen it. I haven't seen a run back on them yet.
Bolts stays in the game at tailback behind Yates, and they'll give it to the young tailback, and he'll cut out to the right side, and he's got a quick burst of speed to the edge, and he's going to be flung out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain there. But you get a glimpse of the speed and the elusiveness from young Mr. Bolts there.
Yeah, because he could have been tackled in the backfield. He was just way too fast for the gentleman to get him, and that second guy had to help out and push him outside. You can see the speed. Wow.
Dragged out of bounds there by Will Wilson, the young man who had a commitment today. He's going to college at Campbell University. Congratulations to Will Wilson, the standout corner for the Bruins.
There's a hold on this play, it looks like, James. I see a flag over here, and I just saw him. So that's going to be a not run, actually.
Yes, they will mark the penalty against Crestwood there on that outside run.
The reason we didn't see the flag, James, is because the referee on the sideline judge, he actually threw it behind him, not on the field of play.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he dropped it behind his foot.
So now it is still first down, and it'll be 15 to go here. In the gun, Yates will drop to throw, looking to his left, scrambling out of the pocket. Bruins flushing him to his right, and to the left, and down he goes. Dropped in the backfield for a sack all the way back at the 5-yard line by a host of different Bruins there.
Yeah, and that was actually Malik Yates, the quarterback, who ran that. He was number 2 that got tackled. And he got nowhere. He lost yardage.
Huge loss of yardage there. It is all the way back at the 5-yard line. The line to gain is the 23-yard line, so 18 yards to go. Second and 18 after that negative first down and the penalty. They send Martin in motion to the left. Yates out of the gun, standing at his goal line, gives it up the middle. I believe that was Wofford who checked into the game there, but he'll be met at that line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, they're swarming in on that in the middle of that defense. They're all just coming together and swarm tackling. That young man didn't have a chance. They're gonna have to. I always tell people they got to get to the outside. If you can't, you're not gonna be able to run normally against South Florence. You got to find a way to get to the outside, and then it'll open up the middle.
Well, this sets up a huge third down and 18 now, as Crestwood standing at their goal line from the 5-yard line here. In the gun is Yates. We'll see if he just decides to keep it conservative here. No, they'll look to throw, and he's going to throw it to the right side and just out of reach of his receiver intended for Cameron Edwards.
And, I mean, there was really good coverage on the play as well. It was only going to be about a 3-yard reception if he did get it. So, well, I'm sorry, about a 13-yard reception, but he was going to be well short of the first down.
Brings up a 4th down and long now, and this will be an interesting situation for Jaden Martin as he'll be punting from the back of his end zone here. As you mentioned, Chuck, the Bruins known to go after punts in situations like this. They are all stacked up to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the receiver for South Florence is at the 35-yard line.
Kennedy had a chance at it, but they get it away. It's a low kick that'll bounce at about the 28, and it'll be blown dead at the 32-yard line. So, again, excellent field position for the South Florence Bruins to start this drive here with 4:49 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, if they don't make adjustments on this special teams plays, we've already seen this. This happened to West Florence the first game we saw.
Yep.
First 2 drives were very similar to this. And South Florence went up big on them.
The Bruins got a game plan against the Knights is what you're telling me.
I think so. I think they got something out for the Knights. They might be
the
thinking they're playing against Florence right now.
It is definitely a little deja vu moment so far as Messiah Jackson and the Bruins offense gets ready here First and 10, Jackson will look to throw this time, looking right side, going long, one-on-one, Samaj Parker in the end zone. Incomplete, but a flag flies there. The defensive back, I don't think, got his head turned around. Jaden Archie in coverage there.
No doubt about that. That was pass interference. Also, did you see the time Messiah Jackson had to throw that ball? He had plenty of time. That offensive line is not only blocking for passing right now, they're also blocking for running. But that right there, that was a wall. He didn't have anybody coming at him.
Had all day, did Messiah Jackson, to heave that downfield, and that will lead to that is an holding against the Bruins as well, and pass interference against Crestwood. So those two penalties will offset. I guess that explains why Messiah Jackson had the time he had. So repeat the down there.
Yeah, touche. I guess so. But I would think that offensive line, from what I've seen, they're pretty strong. I would imagine they're going to be able to hold up in this passing game as well. Because, like I said, there was nobody close to them. I know there was a hold.
Right. No, absolutely. All said and done, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They send Washington in motion, give it up the middle to McLaughlin, and he's met and driven backwards, trying to shed blocks, but a group of Crestwood Knights bring him down. The first one there was big number 38, Jordan Carter.
Yeah, Gabe McLaughlin did not want to go down at all. He stood up. It took, like you said, it took about 3 people. He gained about 2 yards, but they pushed him back about 3, and they gang tackled him. But he did not want to go down.
McLaughlin kind of tenderly running off there. He will go see the athletic training staff on the sideline. Cameron James checking back into the game, and 3 wide receivers now for the Bruins as they spread it out here on the 2nd down and 2 now as he fakes it to Cameron James, throwing quick screen out to the right side to Juwan Parker as he's going to make a man miss. Still running. Juwan Parker finding running room on that right side across the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 15 yards and a first down.
Well, I know they got Martin on their side, but they got Juwan Perkins on the other side. Senior running back who's very, very strong. Came over from West Florence, like we know, for his senior year. And he is the number one receiver for South Florence.
He has been a complete difference maker for this Bruins offense. 1st down and 10 now. Fresh set of downs as they march Perkins down at the 18-yard line as the Bruins again in the red zone. They stay in that 3-receiver set. Now he'll drop to throw again. Jackson going to the end zone. He's got him. Samaj Parker on the right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins.
That's what I'm talking about, Messiah. Is there a penalty? No, that's
Late
what I'm
flag
talking.
Flies in, yes. We'll see what it is, but I think it will be maybe a celebration penalty here. We'll check it.
Either way, I've been waiting to see Messiah Jackson do some of that. In the first game, he was definitely not on target with his throws. And I just wanted to see, because last year he was throwing to these receivers like passes like that, dimes. That was a dime that was beautiful over the shoulder in the corner of the end zone.
And we've been waiting for the recipient of that to also break out. Samaj Parker has had a rough start to his sophomore season after being on the varsity team last year. But that right there is why he is still a great playmaker for this team.
Yeah, he is. He's been strong. He was good last year. This year, like you said, he has had a little bit of difficulties. And that might have been one of those guys that he had a conversation with. Marley said, hey, you got to step it up. You got to do a little bit more. We're not going to tolerate non-excellence.
Absolutely. 3:26 to go here in this first quarter of action. The Bruins have taken a 13-0 lead here in this first quarter of action. Still checking on this penalty marker as the refs go back and forth, speaking to both Roosevelt Nelson and Drew Marlowe. It is a unsportsmanlike penalty on the Bruins. It will be assessed on the kickoff there, so maybe some words exchanged after the score, but this PAT will remain the same.
That will give Crestwood fairly good field position where South Florence will be kicking from. So that's a costly penalty.
Coy Joyner on to kick the extra point, snaps down. It is good, and the Bruins 14-0 here on senior night. And as you mentioned, Chuck, Crestwood really has to get it together here on this next offensive possession as they will get good starting field position off of that penalty. It is, like we said, it looks dangerously similar to the opening game against West Florence.
And this is South Florence once again in that game, too. We talk about that. The reason they got stopped a lot of times was doing it to themselves. They just did another penalty for no reason at all. Last week they had 11 penalties.
Wow.
For over 100, and I think it was over 100, and I won't get the exact number, but over 100 yards.
Wow. I guess in a game where you're beating Fort Dorchester, that's a small nuance there, but I'm sure that's something that Coach Drew Marlowe is continuing to harp on to this team. If they want to win a state championship, it is now time to clean up those types of errors.
And I imagine some of those errors came from the younger players that were in the game in the second half. So, but they did have 11 penalties.
Coy Joyner, after that penalty, will tee it up at the 25-yard line for the Bruins. Martin and Bolts will be standing at their own 25-yard line to receive it. Joyner approaches the ball, and the kick is away. Again to that left side to Bolts, and he will take it at the 15-20, cutting to the right sideline, but tracked down from behind by the Bruins, and he'll be marked down at the 23-yard line.
Some of the reason that happened right there is because he was up too far. He had to run back like he was catching the ball as a baseball player. It almost went over his head. It was an athletic move for him to get it, but the momentum was already pushing him backwards when he caught the ball. Then when you go forward and take a right on South Florence again, they're going to get you 90% of the time. I know it's, you're fast, but you've got to, I would say, come straight up the field, not trying to take right turns.
Yates will start this drive at the 23-yard line. Both Wofford and Bolts in the backfield. Wofford will take the carry, and he is met in a gang tackle there by the Bruins as he will gain maybe a yard there as the stymie Bruins defense stops him again.
It's what they do, James. They swarm together. They go after the ball. They've been taught, hey, tackle, like I hate to say it again. I'll say it one last time, tackle by population. They're taught that.
Staying in this two-back set with Wofford and Bolts in the backfield. Wofford will get the carry up the middle of the field, driving Bruins forward. He'll gain maybe 3 yards there, but this sets up a 3rd and long now for Crestwood.
I mean, if you're Crestwood, that is the best run you've had up the middle all night long, 3 yards.
Yeah, that's so far.
That's going to be a rough night if that's your best run.
3rd down, and they're going to mark it 7 yards. Still in that twin back set for Yates. He's going to look to throw, looking left side. Now under duress, still has time, looking in the pocket, going to go deep down the middle of the field, and it is dropped. One-on-one, he had his man. That was number 6, Cameron Edwards, and he couldn't hang on. Great coverage there by, I believe that was number 20 for the Bruins. That was Donald McKelvin.
It was, and he scrambled, and his feet are good, the quarterback Yates. He scrambled out of that. He was going to be sacked. He was almost sacked. He scrambled away from him and gave his receiver time enough to get open. The receiver was open and had it in his hands, but good defense, like you said, by number 20.
Not marked that. That was actually 21, Jaquez Johnson, to make the great play there. That'll set up this 4th down and 7 now. Crestwood getting ready to punt. Back deep, Samaj Parker will spiraling kick this one. It'll bounce at about the 45. And Parker trying to miss on the outside sideline there by the Crestwood bench, but he'll get maybe to the 44-yard line, and he'll be knocked out of bounds there.
And this is the first possession. South Florence will start off in their own territory, and that was the best punt of the game for them. A lot of these games, just like the last game we were watching together, James Wilson and them, the special teams affected that whole game. Between them using penalties constantly when they would kick the ball out of bounds and then they would back them up. This particular game could be part of that as well. And so far,
the kick return for a touchdown. I mean, there was a ton of special teams going on.
There was
game,
a ton.
100%.
This game is also going to be won a little bit by that. But South Florence definitely has the better special team so far.
At the 44, they'll give it to Cameron James up the middle of the field, but met by 2 big Knights, and he'll be slammed back to the ground. That's number 19 for the Knights. That is Quazon McMillan, the first to bring him down there.
Yeah, and that's the kind of effort you're going to have if you're Crestwood to stay in this game, is to make tackles right there where they gain maybe 1 yard, because South Florence's rushing attack, we've seen it all. We've seen it, and it's going to be good. But that was a nice play by them to get in the backfield.
Crestwood showing a little life here on that run defense there. Now to 2nd down at 8 now as Messiah Jackson will send both the tight end and the offensive tackle in motion, and then he'll give it to Cameron James, and again he is met and dropped immediately. That time number 10, Zakeen Gamble, the linebacker, came up and popped him quickly. It'll be 3rd and 7 now.
And that's the kind of aggression they're going to have. You were talking about the linebackers from them. They're going to be their strength. Right now, they are becoming their strength. They need that pressure up in there. South Florence, this is a big down for them now. They're at their 50. There's a good chance Marlowe will go for 2 here. When I say 2, I'm talking about on 4th down
Absolutely.
as well.
3rd down and 7. Jackson trying to get him off. Hard count there. We'll see who moves first, as there is movement on the line of scrimmage.
Number 45 is who is on their team. It's going to be
Rashad Richardson for Crestwood. Got a little anxious
there. He jumped a little early on him. And that just gave South Florence what they needed. Now they have a short field position, and last 2 times they have been stopped, but they gained 3 yards on the last one. They're about 3 yards shy right now.
This is definitely the Bruins' bread and butter here on this 3rd and short situations. Jackson in the gun. Cameron James to his right. He'll fake it to James. Up the middle goes Jackson. Met right at the 1st down marker, but drives forward, and that'll be a 1st down for the Bruins.
Yeah, this is what we've seen him do, and he did it again. You can't shoot yourself in the foot against South Florence. That he's just such a strong runner. He just runs over people, carries them. Like you said, he got hit right at the line of scrimmage. I mean, right at the 1st down or the marker. And he drugged the guy for another 2 yards to make sure he got a 1st down.
They love using him in those gotta-have-it downs and distances. Jackson's a very no-nonsense runner. This time he'll look to throw, rolling to his right. Jackson will throw it to the outside shoulder. He's got his man, Juwan Perkins, at the 35-yard line, just short of the 1st down. But he'll be slung forward for a gain of about 4 more, and it'll be another Bruin 1st down.
And the 1st down, they stopped the clock right now. There's 5.1 seconds left in the 1st quarter. This should be the last play if they are able to get it off because the clock's going to start. No, they will not take a play.
That will be it for the end of this 1st quarter of action here on senior night to start region play here. The Bruins 14, the Crestwood Knights 0. We'll be back with your 96.3 ESPN high school football game of the week after this break.
From the Florence Toyota Studios, this is WOLH Florence, 96.3 ESPN Radio, the worldwide leader in sports.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918. Serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
Now back to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week here on 96.3 ESPN Radio here at senior night at South Florence. The Bruins up 14-0 in their first regional game against the Crestwood Knights. And Chuck, it was a little deja vu there as the Bruins executed well on special teams and were able to run the ball effectively again there to open up a big lead here in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, and they're still looking to move the ball after that. We've been watching them run, but after that last pass play, who knows if they're not going to go ahead and throw a deep ball, because last time they were in this area, or maybe 10 yards before that, that's when Messiah Jackson threw that dime.
You're absolutely right. They have been opening up a little bit more here as of late, are the Bruins, but this balanced offense, tough to stop so far for the Crestwood Knights of Sumter. Both teams 3-1 entering to this game, starting region play, so both teams high expectations in this season. Messiah Jackson will fake to Gabe McLaughlin, and he'll throw it out to Samaj Parker going left side, 10, 15, all the way down inside the 5. Samaj Parker still running, and he's going to score. Samaj Parker there off the play fake.
They caught him down right at the 1 yard line. He made the effort. Oh, wow, guys. If y'all saw that, he was getting tackled at the 5 yard, spun, had people. He pulled 2 different players and almost scored.
Got a great block from his teammates. They were able to weave to the 10-yard line, and then, like you said, Chuck, was dragging the defender all the way to the goal line. Jackson in the gun at the 1. He'll keep it all the way. Quarterback power. He'll follow his blocks, and he's in. Touchdown, Messiah Jackson.
They didn't even touch him, James. They opened up that like the Red Sea for him to go through there. Nobody got him before he was a yard in before somebody touched him.
And the Bruins now up 20-0 to start this 2nd quarter of play. And that is just what the doctor ordered for the Bruins, as that balanced offense got him into the end zone again. And Crestwood now, with their backs against the wall here early in their first regional game. The kick is up and good for Coy Joyner, 21-0 the score now.
Well, that is one difference between this night's team and the last night's team, is they did miss that extra point, and it was 20-0 at this point. Now it's 21-0. So far, don't ask why it feels like the same game, but it kind of feels almost like the same game. South Florence is dominating right now. And you asked the question earlier, were they going to run the ball? And I was thinking they would run the ball. Clearly, I'm a little bit wrong, because he is using that pass tonight, and that might be part of the plan because of what happened in the past. You've got to be able to run the ball and pass the ball, because if somebody shuts your run down, you still got to be able to pass the ball.
It's a long season to go. Maybe in a game like this, you could run the ball all game if you're South Florence, but they want to be able to explore all options on this offense and to be able to use a variety of different playmakers in different situations. Coy Joyner getting ready to kick this back deep to Martin, and Bolts standing at the 6-yard line. Joyner kicking it to the left side to Bolts, but it'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and the Knights will start at the 20-yard line. If you're Crestwood, you have to start to find some type of balance here on offense. I know you have a young quarterback in Merrick Yates, but you got to be able to give him some easy completions, be able to give a little bit of pressure off of this running game so they can maybe find some space up the middle as well.
Yeah, that's what I've talked about in the past when you're playing against a team like this and other teams that we've seen. If you're getting stuffed up the middle, you're going to have to go outside. Try screens. Try a quarterback draw on the outside. Try an option play.
Confusion by the Bruins defense, but it won't matter. Handoff up the middle for the Knights, and he is stuffed immediately at the line of scrimmage. No gain there for Braden Bolts.
Yeah, 4 guys tackled him. They didn't have any problem. It didn't gain anything. So whatever eye candy they were doing did not work. South Florence's defense is playing one heck of a game, too. We always give credit to the offense and not the defense. The defense is on fire tonight.
Out of the gun, Yates to throw. 2 backs in the backfield with him, and he'll throw to the right side, incomplete. Batted down before it could get to his receiver. That was number 29, Jewel Washington, on the coverage there. He tried to thread the needle to number 4, Jaden Martin. He tipped it away.
Yeah, if it would have been just a little bit lower, he would have intercepted that ball. He jumped for it at the perfect time to tap it away, and he was the defender, not the one covering the receiver. He was in front of it. Could have been an interception.
3rd down and 10 now. It sets up for this Knights offense. Wofford in the backfield with Yates. 3 receivers set, and he'll fake to Wofford, going to the left side, and he had his man right at the marker, and it was dropped.
Yeah, the pass was a little bit low, but it should have been caught. Right there at the marker, like you said, it would have been their first down of the game. They've got to get some kind of momentum, and now there's 4th down. They're punting again. Their punter is not great. Our guy is going to line up. He's going to be in territory again. This will be a change from the last night's game.
Right. That was just, it felt like a gotta-have-it kind of throw there and a catch. Had the receiver open and just missed him. Kind of have those type of plays against this Bruins team. Punt is sky high, not going very far. Bounces at the Bruin 40, and they'll let it bounce to about the 47-yard line after a Knights hop. But great field position again for the Bruins.
Yeah, that special teams is really good. He had to rush the kick again. It went so straight up in the air. It was unreal. He had 2 people coming at him. He had to get rid of that ball as quick as he could. This is not the kind of game plan to play against South Florence. You've got to get them in their own territory to start drives. Stop giving them a short field, or it's going to be a long night.
Still 10
No
to
pun
52.
intended.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, long night. Very good. Very good, Chuck. 10:52 to go here in the second quarter of action. The Bruins starting in their own territory again tonight as Jackson lines up in the gun. Washington, Perkins are his receivers. He'll look to throw. Messiah Jackson's got time, going to throw it long. Going down the right sideline, caught. Perkins has got it. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. Great throw and catch there by that tag team.
They're on fire tonight, James. He was wide open. Once again, Messiah Jackson put the ball on the money. this is exciting to see if you're a South Florence fan. You're seeing this team, like they went through their non-region play to prepare for a region. And when you're starting off a region game like this against another team that was 3-1, you thought there might be more competition than there is right now. They're about to possibly go up 28-0.
That was Jaden Archie, the sophomore, in coverage there. There was just nothing he could do. A perfect throw and catch there. Great ball placement by Messiah Jackson. He's going to look to throw again. Same spot in the corner of the end zone. Incomplete that time. Good coverage, maybe too good of coverage there as the flag flies. Jaden Martin, who we called his name, returning and receiving. He also plays corner. He will be marked for the flag there.
Yeah, and unless South Florence receiver pushed off on him, that's definitely pass interference. But it was very hard to tell because it was very tight coverage.
Receiver for the Bruins was Malik Robinson in that right corner of the end zone there. And it will be a penalty against Crestwood, which gives us a first down, goal to go situation for the Bruins. They'll mark him at the 5-yard line now after the penalty yardage.
Yeah, I heard you mention Malik Robinson. A neat secret about him is that is actually Jaden and Lenore Seller's younger brother, stepbrother or half-brother.
Give off up the middle, and Cameron James barely touched into the end zone. Touchdown, Cameron James. Touchdown, Bruins. It is now 27-0.
Once you get that little guy behind that line, you can't. It's very hard to see him, and that line's getting such a push. I don't know if it matters necessarily how small they are, to be honest with you, James, because they didn't touch
Chuck,
Messiah
me and
Jackson.
you could have scored that touchdown.
That's what I said, Messiah. I don't know. I'm going to give you credit. Messiah Jackson didn't get touched either. I believe I would have probably – these young men would have tackled me a little easy.
We can push you into the end zone,
Yeah, you would
friend.
need to get the whole bulldozer.
Kick is up, and was it good by Corey Joyner? I was too busy laughing at you, my friend. They haven't changed the scoreboard yet, so I believe the score is still 27-0 there as Corey Joyner wasn't able to knock in that extra point. 10-14 to go here in this second quarter of action. A dominating performance so far by the Bruins.
And that is the first mistake we've really seen by South Florence.
Oh, it was.
Oh, he did score it, and it wasn't a mistake. There you go.
The scoreboard operator was asleep on me, and I wasn't paying enough attention. So I apologize back at home and apologize to young Corey Joyner there. That kick was up and good.
Yeah, Corey Joyner is a phenomenal kicker in the region. His kickoffs are great. He's done very well with his PATs. He doesn't get a lot of field goal opportunities at all. So we don't know how great his field goal skills are outside of his PATs. But as far as his kickoffs go, he's a strong kicker in this high school. When I went to high school, we didn't have a kicker that could kick it into the end zone. They maybe 10-yard line.
It's a huge game changer for so many of these elite high school programs where they can find a kicker, as we preach about special teams so often. It is a very important position when you don't have a good one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between high school and college. Most college, they get punters and they get kickers, and so they have people that can actually do it. When you're in high school, if you don't have that person, then you end up using a quarterback, a receiver, anything that can possibly do it. And then they're usually not trained just doing that particular thing, so they're not as good.
Joyner boots it away, and then it'll bounce into the end zone for another touchback right on cue there, Chuck, as the Knights will again start at the 20-yard line.
I mean, even South Florence, Messiah Jackson does their punting. He's not a true punter.
He does a good enough job.
He does all right, but you know what I mean? He's not a true punter himself to get the hang time and to do other stuff like that.
Lenore Sellers was pretty insane whenever it came to his punting ability for a quarterback. So I don't like to discredit quarterbacks who can punt.
Lenore Sellers was also a phenomenal soccer player.
Back on offense are the Knights as Yates will play fake here, look to throw left side. It is complete out to his go-to man, Jaden Martin. He'll be marked about 2 yards short of the first down yardage there, but the best pass play of the game for Crestwood right there.
The best overall play of the game, most yardage they've gained.
2nd and 3, Yates will give it up the middle to Bolts, and he'll find running room across the 30-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Knights first down.
Yeah, that's the sign that they need if you're trying to get back in this game at all, Crestwood, is to get that running back and get him a little bit of yardage. Again, he did get enough to get the first down, so this is the first one, like you said, all game long, and we are 9 minutes, 44 seconds into the second quarter.
Yates, play fake, looking to throw again to the right side, complete to Martin, makes a spin move, makes a man miss, and then a gang of Bruins. They weren't happy about that spin move, but what a play there by Jaden Martin, as he'll gain about 6 or 7 yards there. Excuse me, marking him at, that'll be a gain of 9, almost a first down.
So that was their biggest play of the game, 9 yards. And most of that was done by number 4, Martin. His spin move was very good.
Marique Yates, back-to-back completions, now gives it up the middle to Wofford as he's dragging Bruins, getting that hard-earned yardage dragged down by 2 or 3 defenders, but a gain of 2 and another first down.
And this is their best drive so far, so this is the kind of momentum that you have to have if you're Crestwood. Now, if you're South Florence, you need to stop this drive right now if you're trying to dominate this game and get this game over with, because I'm sure they want to get to a running clock. That way they know they're going to win the game.
For sure. Blown dead here, and Drew Marlowe, sensing the momentum of the Knights, calls a timeout there with 8:56 to go. We'll quickly step aside as well during this timeout break. Bruins up 28-0 with 8:56 to go in this second quarter.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at stoudenmeyerdowling.com.
More live action. It's the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week presented by 96.3 ESPN Radio here at South Florence High School here at senior night starting region play. The Bruins off to a big lead here in this first half, up 28-0 over the Crestwood Knights. And Chuck, Crestwood on their best drive so far of the game here. Drew Marlowe sensing that called a timeout.
Yeah, I would agree. He needed to slow it down some. Defense might have been getting a little wore out after that play because they haven't played a whole bunch on defense. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. First down now is Yates will give it to Bolts going left side, finding a little bit of running room there off a block, and he'll gain about 4 or 5 yards. One of the best runs there for the freshman.
Yeah, this drive's looking good for them so far. South Florence is either going to have to buckle in to stop this run because they're starting to run up the middle a little bit. That one was to the outside, but they've had 2 successful runs up the middle as well.
Staying on schedule are the Knights now. 2nd down and 5, and staying in that twin backfield set with Wofford and Bolts. This time Yates will look to throw. He'll swing it out to Bolts on the right side. He makes a man miss, makes 2 men miss, and there goes number 7, Braden Bolts, making it look way too easy, and a first down for him as he scampers out of bounds into Bruins territory.
The guy had him in the backfield, but he all he did was did a little dance. I mean, he started acting like he was running in one place. And I don't know why the guy stopped from tackling him, except for that dude is fast. He made a cut, and that was the end of it. He gained almost, what, was that an 11-yard gain, James?
More than enough for a first down now, as it is marked at the 46-yard line. Bolts now going left side, trying to find some running room. He'll be knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there by Amari Reeves.
Yeah, right now you're not seeing that gang tackling at all from South Florence. He's getting by some people. I know he got tackled them, but if he can get by that one guy, he's going to get a pretty big gain. South Florence looks a little frustrated out there, some of their defensive players.
Reeves did make the tackle there for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Crestwood finding success, win that 2-back package. High snap. Yates will look to throw again. Looking right. Now he's going to run left side. Tucks it across the 45. Dancing out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds at. It looked like he will be just shy of the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6 at the 41.
Yeah, that was a nice adjustment by him because once again he had a guy in the backfield, and it looked like he was going to get stopped around the 2-yard line. But he tight-roped the lines to get an extra 4 yards. Good play by their quarterback.
Mark it 3rd and 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Yates and this Knights offense as he's going to look to throw again, looking right side to Martin. He's got it. Jumping catch, makes a man miss. 30-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Flags fly.
Yeah, there's 2 flags out there. I didn't see exactly what happened. I was watching it. We're going to see if this is against South Florence. I think it's against South Florence.
6:43 to go here in this first half of action. The referees are signaling it will be a penalty against the Bruins.
They're more than likely going to take the catch and not take the penalty, I would imagine.
Oh. It'll be a face mask penalty, so that'll be tacked on to the end of the run there. So a huge penalty there for the Bruins, and that'll move the ball onto the edge of the red zone for the Crestwood Knights.
Yeah, definitely the best drive of the night for the Knights. This is their opportunity to score, and they need to score to try to stop this bleeding and then go in and try to make some halftime adjustments or stop South Florence again.
Handoff to Calvin Wofford, had to make Terry Gordon miss, but then the rest of the Bruins will meet him in the backfield. He'll lose 2 yards there.
Yeah, they got him that time with the swarm tackling, and they needed that one. They needed to stop this momentum if you're South Florence. Right now, if you can, more than likely, if you're Crestwood, you're probably in 4-down territory. I don't think they'll kick a field goal. I imagine they need 7 points.
It's got to be the forefront of Coach Nelson's mind at this point, trying to get back into this football game. Threes aren't going to get it done.
No, sir.
It'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 after the loss. Bolt checks into the backfield as the tailback next to Yates. 3 wide receivers. Yates will look to throw, going left side, back to his go-to target in Martin. He's got it on the sideline on that curl route again. Gain of about 6 to 7 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
This is a nice play. He is their go-to receiver. We're seeing him play, and South Florence having a little trouble tackling him and getting to him. Because the receiver, or their defensive player, he was not close to him. He was wide open.
Amari Reeves in this defensive coverage giving them a little bit of cushion here. It'll be 3rd and 5 now. They press up a little tighter this time. South Florence now backs up. Give it to Wofford, running right side, and play is blown dead. We'll see what the call is for the refs. No, it'll be a timeout for Crestwood here on this crucial 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that was a timeout, James, what you just called it. That looked like it was going to be a decent play for them. Might have just shot themselves in the foot by calling that timeout.
Haven't seen a lot of Calvin Wofford so far tonight. He's been bottled up on most of his inside carries, but we talked about it in the pregame. He is the go-to weapon for Crestwood, and he's going to have to make a bigger impact going forward in this game if they want to make an impact.
You would think, but it seems to me like they're using him very sparingly, to be honest with you, James. They've been going with the freshman way more today. Bolts, as I believe is his name.
Yeah, both of them have been in the backfield. Like you said, they've really been featuring that freshman.
And I agree with what you said. I agree with what you said, though. They do need to go. He is supposed to be the bell cow. That's what made you successful. I would imagine, why not go back to the back that did make you successful?
Right. Sets up a 3rd down and 5 out of this timeout now as Coach Nelson now has, again, both the tailbacks in the backfield and Bolts and Wofford on either side of Yates. Martin lines up to the left side. They move. Bolts in a motion, and they'll swing it out to his side, and he is brought down immediately in the backfield. Oh, great play by number 20, Donald McLevin, in the backfield.
Oh, he leveled him, James, and a big-time loss. Now, instead of it being 3rd and 5, we are now at 4th and 13. What a big play.
Huge play there from his safety position to come down and just thumped the freshman.
This is what South Florence needed. They needed to stop them from scoring.
4 minutes,
they've got a good
45 seconds here and counting in this first half of action. 4th down and 13. The Knights offense staying on the field. Split back set. Yates will drop to throw. Pressure in his face. Terry Gordon in his face. Flag flies. He's got a man in the middle of the field. It's caught for a Crestwood touchdown, but it looks like this one's coming back. That was Jaden Martin on the catch and run, but someone got a big grab of number 10, Terry Gordon's jersey there, and it's coming back.
Yeah, it's like when he had scrambled before and got away and had time to throw this time. The only reason he had time to throw is because his offensive lineman was holding Terry Gordon, like you said. Beautiful play by them in the pass play, but up here we already knew that play was going to be dead.
Just trying to give your quarterback as much time as he can. Scrambling to his left there. Terry Gordon was all over it, so he had to hold him. But like you said, a nice play there by that sophomore quarterback, finding his go-to guy. Jaden Martin's been their only weapon in the passing game. So
it looks like they're going to bring out the punting unit.
ball is marked back all the way to the 35-yard line.
There's the sophomore. He's out again, so it looks like they're about to punt right now. Martin.
It is going to be 4th and 25.
It's right
23, 4th and 23. Flag flies again as the snap goes back to Martin. We'll check that one as well. This has been from a very promising drive for the Knights to an absolute disaster.
Yeah, this was a promising drive, and these penalties have now just shot every momentum they had.
False start on the Knights. That'll back them up 5 more. Ball now at the 40-yard line. It is now 4th down and 28.
That's got to be frustrating if you're Crestwood, and especially if you're the coach.
Martin will take the punt and pressure on him, but he'll get it away. A good kick here as it goes all the way to the 15-yard line. Dribbling down that line marker there. They'll pick it up and mark it down there.
James, I'm not sure how they didn't block that punt. They were all in the backfield. Give credit to Martin for being able to get that kick off with that much pressure coming in his face, and probably actually second or best kick he's had all night. One of the two. That was a good kick.
Definitely did a great job of pinning South Florence deep. Going to have to make them work for these points on this possession. 4:16 to go here, and South Florence getting the ball back after halftime here, really with a great chance to put their foot down on Crestwood and go ahead and put this game up early.
Yeah, the way they've been playing, I mean, this is what we were talking about. If you're Crestwood, you got to make them try to do the whole field to see if you can get stops, because South Florence scores quickly, especially when you give them a short field, and they've had a short field all night. They need to stop them here, or else, like you said, this is going to be a big problem for Crestwood.
Quarterback change for the Bruins. De'Eric Davis in the game at quarterback. Had a huge game last week as he's going to quickly throw out to the left side. It's complete to Malik Robinson. It'll be caught at about the 25-yard line. We'll see where they mark him for the first down. It'll be marked at the 23-yard line, 2 yards short. De'Eric Davis last week had a huge game in the relief of Messiah Jackson, 195 yards and a touchdown against Fort Dorchester last week for the backup.
I'm a little surprised he's already in there right now, though.
Davis looking to throw on second down, had all time in the world. He'll throw high and intercepted. Picked off by Crestwood, and he's going to look to return it. Stretching across the field, breaking a tackle, weaving in between Bruins all the way to the 20, and he's going to be brought down to the 15-yard line. Huge play there, number 4, Jaden Martin. No, excuse me. Was that number 4?
That's Martin. If it
that
was number
was
4.
The do-it-all man, Jaden Martin, with the interception.
Yeah, he overthrew his receiver by a good 5 yards. That's why that interception was there. I am kind of confused as to why Coach Marlowe had his backup quarterback in there at this point in the stage. It's 28-0. Doesn't mean that they can't score 28 points in the second half, or the second half Crestwood.
This is around the time last week from what I saw in the Fort Dorchester game where they pulled Messiah Jackson late in the first half. So same type of situation there, but
they were up by, I think, 49 points at that time.
It was only 21 at that point. They marked
I thought at the halftime it was. I know after the first quarter it was 21 points. But either way, I just think that was really dangerous, and that's why. It's his first interception of the year, too, for Davis, by the way.
Yep. Handoff there. Flag flies on the first down carry for Bolt. We'll check the laundry here, but a huge change of possession there, and the Knights right back in it here, and immediately a red zone opportunity with 3:19 to go here.
And once again, they're starting to shoot themselves in the foot. They got a penalty and lost 5 yards. If you're Crestwood, you can't do this to yourself. They've gotten great field position. The momentum was there. The excitement was there. And then, boom, you get a penalty.
Makes it 1st and 15 from the 21-yard line now for the Knights. Bolt in the backfield with Yates. He'll give it to Bolt as he's immediately going to go left side running and brought down as there was a bunch of penetration by the Bruins.
Looks like another
flies.
flag. Yeah,
Yep.
another flag, James. I don't know who it's on. That one was kind of hard to tell. It could have been
I'd imagine
on
it'd be
their
another
offensive
hold.
lineman and a hold, I would think. And once again,
Yeah, Bruins defensive line was in the backfield in a hurry, and it forced Bolt to cut outside. It will be
another hold. I mean, this is deja vu from the last drive. They started off inside. Now they put themselves. It's not fourth down, luckily for them, but they're first down and
it'll be first and 25.
30. No, is that 20? Yeah, 25 yards.
Yep, first and 25 for Crestwood now, as they will give it up the middle. This is Wofford weaving between Bruins, fighting off of others. He'll gain a hard 2 yards there.
Now, through our film, he is very hard to tackle. And South Florence, they still stopped him very short, but it took a few times before they could actually bring him down. He got through 3 people, but all of it sideways, so he wasn't gaining any yards at all.
2:45 and counting here in this first half of action, as Crestwood desperate to get some points on the board here to avoid the running clock in that second half and trying to keep this game competitive. Quick look, Amari Reeves had to be subbed out there as he hobbles off the field. We'll check with the medical staff there. As a pop pass, that'll be a inerrant pop pass there as they try to get it to Jaden Martin, but it will be a pop pass, so it'll be incomplete.
They got lucky that was what you called it, because if not, South Florence actually recovered that ball, and that would have been even more disheartening if you're Crestwood. Crestwood's got to stop. I mean, if you're them, if you're the coach, you have to be frustrated right now. If you're Coach Nelson, I mean, they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. They're inside the red zone, and now they're not even in field goal range.
Third down now and 25 for the Knights. Yates will drop to throw, looking right, looking long, one-on-one, incomplete. Man had his hands on it, was Martin, but great coverage there that was number 21, Jaquez Johnson, again in coverage. That'll bring up a 4th down and 25 now for the Knights.
Yeah, that was beautiful, beautiful coverage. No pass interference or anything. Stopped the play. Stopped him from being able to catch the pass, because that wide receiver will catch that ball. He can catch.
We've seen Martin be the go-to guy so far tonight, but Johnson was step for step in stride there and got his hand in between the ball and the receiver. It'll be 4th and 25. They're going for it here. 2:09 to go. Trips to his right. Yates will look to throw here. Pressure in his face, and Terry Gordon will bring him down for another huge sack all the way back at the 45-yard line. And that's where the Bruins will turn it over, or will force the turnover on downs.
Yeah, they wasn't a hold that time to keep Terry from getting to him, and Terry got straight to him quick. The quarterback, Yates, came up a little bit limpy, or either limpy or very disappointed, because he's going over by himself.
Just a huge disappointment there. They got the errant pass by Derek Davis to start that drive, had excellent field position, and then the penalties and negative plays. Just couldn't get anything going on that drive. And the Bruins again now with the football with 2:02 to go and a chance to go up by 5 scores in this first half.
Let's see what their 2-minute offense is about. They've got 2 minutes and 2 seconds, like you said, to see if they can score.
Davis will look to throw, fires to the left side, incomplete, had a man right in his face. Ball was intended for John Perkins, but it falls out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm still surprised they've got Davis in there instead of beside Jackson at this moment.
Not only that, but they're letting him sling it so far.
Yeah, especially after that turnover. I mean, Messiah Jackson was really good, throwing dimes tonight, and he come in, threw a couple passes, and then threw an interception that wasn't even close to the receiver.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Washington and Perkins, the receivers. Cameron James in the backfield. They'll give it to little Cam James up the middle of the field as he weaves forward, and he'll fall ahead for a gain of 6 yards for Cameron James.
Yeah, now we'll say it doesn't necessarily matter who's handing off the ball, because you got that South Florence line up there, and James is the running back, and he can do it again like he's been doing it, and McLaughlin. Just don't know how great of a runner Davis is.
1:30 to go here in the first half. Give up the middle, Cameron James following his blockers again, and that'll be enough for a first down, a gain of 6 there.
Clock will stop while they reset the chains. If South Florence can get it fast and get another play in, they won't have to use a timeout.
Whit Diaz, number 33 for Crestwood with the tackle, but still a first down for the Bruins. 1:15 now as the clock beginning to run. McLaughlin now in the game in the backfield with Davis to his right. Davis calls for the ball, fakes it to McLaughlin, and now Davis will keep it in the big backup quarterback rumbling like his starter does for a gain of 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, they don't seem to be in necessary hurry to stop this clock or anything. I'm not sure if they're. I'm really not sure what South Florence. I'm just curious if they try to score or not because.
And movement on the line there. It looks like they may have gotten someone from Crestwood to move. Crestwood pointing at South Florence that they moved. 46 seconds to go here in this first half. And that will be a false start on the Bruins that time. That'll back them up 5.
That's one way South Florence has stopped itself all year long is through penalties. Once again, I mean, I don't know if they're actually going to try to score here or not, James, but we're going to find out. Because they're going to have to pass the ball at this point if you ask me to score, unless they could bust a run through.
Another flag. I believe they signaled it for play, and a couple of the Bruins players thought that the ball was snapped, I believe. That was a little confusing as well. We'll check this flag.
It almost feels like he's going to just keep that flag.
It almost felt like an inadvertent whistle or something along those lines.
Yeah, that didn't look. No, I didn't see anybody jumping off sides necessarily, but we'll see. We're trying to find out, guys, to let you know. We just can't tell yet.
The Crestwood band giving us a little entertainment as the Crestwood sidelines filling out nicely to support
it was a
their
penalty.
team. It was a penalty again against the Bruins. Another false start as that'll back them up 10 more yards. And it'll be second down and 13 now. 44 seconds to go here in this first half as this drive is slowed down.
And I mean, this is South Florence's Achilles heel to me is their penalties, and this is part of it right here. They had time to score a touchdown or at least to get to a field goal range.
Still with 2 timeouts they give to McLaughlin up the middle of the field, but he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage there by number 10, Yaquin Gamble. Clock is still running to 30 seconds. Coach Marlowe, I'm not sure if he seems content.
Yeah, he may just pack it in and go in for halftime here. This play clock is definitely greater than what time is left. It's about a 7-second difference. So they can let it just run out. And it looks like that's what they're doing, James.
That is what it looks like. Coach Marlowe has seen enough of this first half of action from his Bruins. A dominant first half of action here in South Florence. And the Bruins on senior night starting off region play strong. South Florence 28, Crestwood Knight 0. During the halftime break, our buddy MJ will give you scores from around the state, and we'll be back with the second half of action after the break. Take it away, MJ.
It's football season, which means it's time to head to Rivals, a store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grillers. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs at Rivals, a store divided.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag installation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Autoglass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Autoglass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Autoglass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at stoudenmeyerdowling.com.
Jordan back here in the ESPN Radio 96.3 FM studio where South Florence has a 28-0 lead on Crestwood. And let's check the scores from around the area. Ashley Ridge with a 4-point lead right now on Carolina Forest, 24-20. Irmo 28, Myrtle Beach 7. Conway 22, Aner 8. James Island all over St. James, 42-7. Marlboro County just took the lead over North Myrtle Beach, 7-3. It's Lake City 12, East Clarendon nothing. Williamsburg Academy at the half, all over Florence Christian, 20-7. West Florence takes a 13-6 lead over Lugoff Elgin into the half. Late in the second, Wilson on top of Lakewood, 7-0. River Bluff is on top of Cheraw, 14-9. Lower Richland 22, Darlington 6, Dillon 26, Hartsville 14. Loris with a slim 7-0 lead over Socastee, and at the half, it is Sumter 27, Spring Valley nothing. In the college ranks tonight, Tulsa has a 10-3 lead over Oklahoma State. Iowa ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, but 14 unanswered by Rutgers. It's 14-7. Once again, your score at the half, South Florence up 28-0.
It's football season, which means it's time to head to Rivals, a store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grillers. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs at Rivals, a store divided.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag insulation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Autoglass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Autoglass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Autoglass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at stoudenmeyerdowling.com.
This is the college football preview from the Sports Talk Media Network. Phil Kornblut along with Chris Bergen. Okay, let's call it bounce back weekend for the three FBS programs, Bergie. Bounce back because they all lost last weekend. All they can do is bounce back or go on a losing streak, which nobody wants to see. So South Carolina goes to Missouri under the lights, a blackout, sold-out crowd at Missouri, an offense that's been on fire. Can the Gamecocks turn it around?
Well, you got to take that approach that Steve Spurrier used to when he was the head coach at Florida, and the Gamecocks always had a blackout when the Gators rolled into town. And he said the one nice thing about that, it made his receivers, they could see the ball a lot easier in the stand. So hopefully that'll be the case if Lenora Sellers is able to go. And there was some good news earlier this week that he should play. But still, Phil, they've got to figure out this offense. Who are they? How are they going to execute things offensively? And they've got to find a way to run the football without Lenoris. They've got to get Attaway going. They've got to get Rashul Faison. This is a team that ranks 117th in Division I football in running the football at 110 yards a game. That can't continue if they want to have the kind of season they need to have, and it also can't continue if they're hoping to beat Missouri as a pretty sizable underdog, at least earlier in the week.
Take everything you said about offense now and apply it to Clemson. The Tigers at home, noon kickoff against Syracuse, coming off that loss at Georgia Tech. They, too, are facing a team with a red-hot offense, the number one passing quarterback in the country. Now, their competition hasn't been all that great. Is the Clemson defense going to be up to the task? Is this guy for real? Is he going to pass Clemson silly? Are the Tigers going to get it together on offense? These are all questions we want you to answer.
Well, I can't answer them until Saturday at about 3 o'clock, and I'll probably give you a pretty good idea. The one thing I can say, though, had we sat down in August and said, all right, Phil, when Clemson takes on Syracuse almost midway through the season, one of the teams is going to have the number one passing quarterback in the country. The other is going to have the 59th rated passer, at least in terms of yards, in the country. My guess is most people would not have thought that Steve Angeli, the starting quarterback at Syracuse, would have been the one that's tops in the nation. But right now he is lighting folks up. But this is the time of year and, sort of the game that Clemson always finds a way to win. They bounce back. Dabo had his big rant earlier this week talking about if Tiger fans are upset with the lack of winning, if you will, I'll go do something else. Every time he comes out like that, he's not talking to us. He's not talking to the fan base. He's talking to his football team, and they always seem to respond.
Speaking of the offensive disease spreading around the state at the FBS level, Coastal Carolina needs to find an offense now as they go on the road down to South Alabama to take on the Jaguars. Trouble at quarterback there, not good play. Are they going to find it this weekend?
They've got to, Phil, and the one thing they've got to start doing is stop turning the football over. You can't be a -9 in the turnover margin and win football games. It's remarkable, quite frankly, based on that stat alone, that Coastal is 1-2. Fortunately, they were able to beat Charleston Southern, but they turned it over considerable amounts against the Buccaneers, and that's got to stop. You can't be dead last in the FBS turning the football over and hope to win, especially when you go on the road against a South Alabama team that if they get ahead, they're going to try and put the game in the deep freeze with one of the better running backs in the Sun Belt, and Kentrell Bullock. And here's a guy who's averaging right around 100 yards per ball game, and they are very good in special teams. So this game, if it boils down to the little things, history thus far this season tells you that Coastal is going to struggle because of the turnovers. If they figure out a way to stop doing that, then they'll give themselves at least a chance to win at South Alabama.
All right, let's take a look at the other games coming up this weekend around the state of South Carolina. Wofford, 3 close losses, total of 8 points in their 3 losses, and they got to go to Virginia Tech, Bergie, and this is the game after Virginia Tech fires their coach, so this is not a good time for Wofford to head to Blacksburg.
Wonder how much of the money that they are going to get, Wofford's, is also having to help fund Brent Pry to go away and not coach. Virginia Tech spending a lot of money this week in terms of, unfortunately, firing their head coach. I think they pulled the trigger way too soon, but it's understandable. And then now Wofford having to roll in there. That's probably not the timing you wanted if you're the Terriers.
Presbyterian off to a 3-0 start for the first time in over 20 years, back at home to take on Bluefield of West Virginia. South Carolina State, 2-1, goes down to play South Florida. Money game for the Bulldogs. Maybe they can surprise the South Florida team that was beaten badly by Miami last weekend. Charleston Southern, looking for that first win of the season, will be at William and Mary. Newberry off to a 2-0 start at home against conference rival Catawba. The Citadel, which is 1-2, will be home to take on Mercer in a Southern Conference match in Charleston. It will be Erskine on the road at Brevard. The Flying Fleet off to an 0-2 start. North Greenville getting its first win last weekend will be home to take on West Florida. Allen, which got its first win last week. The Trojans play at Mars Hill. That'll do it for the college football preview For Chris Bergen, this is Phil Kornblut on the Sports Talk Media Network. Trojans play at Mars Hill. That'll do it for the college football preview. For Chris Bergen, this is Phil Kornblut on the Sports Talk Media Network.
It's football season, which means it's time to head to Rivals, a store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grillers. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs at Rivals, a store divided.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag installation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at StoudenmeyerDowling.com.
It's football season, which means it's time to head to Rivals, a store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grillers. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs at Rivals, a store divided.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag installation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at StoudenmeyerDowling.com.
From the Florence Toyota Studios, this is WOLH Florence, 96.3 ESPN Radio, the worldwide leader in sports.
Coming up after the game, it's the South Carolina High School Scoreboard Show on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week here with Week 4 action, the start of region play in the 4A division here at South Florence High School here as the reigning 4A champs have senior night and host the Crestwood Knights. A great start for the 4A champs. They are up 28-0 here as we prepare to start the second half of action here with my partner, Chuck Lawson. And Chuck, the Bruins dominated in every facet of that first half, and somehow I'm sure Drew Marlowe is quite disappointed with what he saw from his team in that first half of action.
Yeah, I imagine he does have some disappointment because, like I was talking about, their biggest downfall is their penalties. And once again, this first half, they probably had 5 penalties against them. When you're trying to win state championships, you're trying to be – nobody's ever going to be perfect, but you're trying to go for that excellence and perfection, and that's the way he's been doing it for a long time. And he wants to do that right now. He wants to make sure that this team understands, hey, we got to be the best at all times. And I promise you, like you said, he is very upset right now.
And I'm sure on the other sideline, Coach Roosevelt Nelson for the Crestwood Knights also disappointed with his team having a couple opportunities down in the red area here late in that first half to be able to get some points on the board, but a just litany of penalties and negative plays continued to drive them back on 2 different possessions, leading to no points.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Somebody walked in on us. We were trying to figure out what's going on. Anyway, South Florence is now taking the field. Trying to see what's going on. They should be getting the ball first, but I don't see Crestwood's team out here anywhere right now. I don't see Crestwood anywhere. Do you see him anywhere, James? Only thing I see is South Florence. Oh, there they are. Okay. They're just not on the field yet.
The Bruins ready for this second half kickoff here as Amari Reeves and Samaj Parker back deep to return this second half kickoff. As we saw a lot of De'Eric Davis before the end of that first half of action. We saw him a lot against Fort Dorchester as well last week. We expect to see number 14 get the bulk work of the snaps in this second half of action.
Yeah, now this is something we haven't seen is how well their kicker can do because he hasn't been in the game. They haven't scored any points yet, and they haven't kicked off yet. South Florence has been dominating, like you said, and they're prepared to, looks like, open up another good quarter for them because I just can't imagine Crestwood is ready for this team. Not to what we saw. He would have had to make huge halftime adjustments.
Anthony Kiggins, the place kicker for the Crestwood Knights, a sophomore. We'll get ready to start this second half of action here to start the first week of region play. Foot meets leather, and we are underway. Short kick to the 20-yard line. Samaj Parker will retrieve it across the 30, spinning through a defender and brought down at the 35-yard line.
And that's a nice return by him from the 20-yard line, 15-yard return with, you, like you said, that spin. He spins out of that move, and that guy doesn't grab him. I believe he just had all green, James. Good tackle by Crestwood special teams.
We had Samaj Parker with one of the lone passing touchdowns of that first half, a beautiful throw by Messiah Jackson. And it is number 7 trotting out onto the field to lead his offense here to start this second half. Messiah Jackson with Gabe McLaughlin in the backfield. Bruce Thompson, the fullback, in as well, as he will lead the way for McLaughlin. A gain of 3 on that first down carry.
Yeah, not a lot of room for him to get in there, and it wasn't the biggest push as they've been getting in the first half. So they may have made some adjustments. We're going to see because I just feel like South Florence's offensive line has dominated this. Like we were talking about, you did about what's going to happen in the trenches right now. South Florence is winning those trenches.
Last week, we'll give some credit to Luke Thayer, the center for South Florence, number 53, winning Region Offensive Lineman of the Week. Plenty of accolades along that offensive line for the Bruins. Now second down as they send Malik Washington in motion. Give up the middle to Cameron James as he squirts through. Big run room for Cameron James, still dragging defenders as he's pushed forward all the way down to the Crestwood 40-yard line. A gain of over 20 yards for Cameron James.
He was so fast in there that he's normally not the guy that's going to drag people, but he was so fast they were trying to hang on to him and just kind of like rolled with him and had no choice but to go along with him. He's not known to drag people per se because he's not a big kid, but dog if he didn't just then.
His 0 to 60 is quite impressive. His explosiveness is just incredible.
Yeah, he's like a Tesla.
First down now into Crestwood territory is Messiah Jackson. Quarterback keeper going left side for number 7 as he falls forward for a gain of about 3 yards. Tackled by a host of Knight defenders there. They'll mark it for a gain of about 5, actually, for Messiah Jackson.
Yeah, there's South Florence, like I said, offensive line is there and just making a push every time, James. He pulled it up to the left-hand side, didn't get touched till he was 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. And if you're doing that, yards after catch or after contact and everything like that, he just gained 2 extra yards after contact.
It is a winning formula for the Bruins now. Second down and 6. Jackson with McLaughlin in the backfield. He'll put it in McLaughlin's chest, and he will take it up the middle of the field and brought down after minimal gain, maybe 2 yards there. Tackled by number 19, Quazon McMillan for the Crestwood Knights.
Yeah, for Crestwood, they've got to keep doing plays like that to stop them. 2-yard gains, they get another 2-yard gain that puts them in 4th down position. Then, of course, South Florence probably will go for it. But at the same time, those are the kind of plays you have to have. South Florence will run.
Empty set for Jackson on this third down. They'll bring Parker in motion. Up the middle goes Messiah Jackson and that offensive line, parting the Red Sea. First down for Messiah Jackson as he's wrangled down in the secondary. That'll be a gain of at least 10 to 15 yards for Messiah Jackson.
Yeah, I feel like I repeat myself over and over because they keep doing the same thing over and over, just run. But at that point right there, nice explosive play by him, showing his athletic skills and getting a good first down.
Right down by Amadre Ricks in the secondary. Again, first down and 10. Empty set for Messiah Jackson. They send Parker in motion from left to right. Jackson will roll to his right with him, looking to throw into the corner of the end zone. Ball's tipped in, incomplete. 2 Bruin receivers in the area. Jerome Perkins got his hands on it, but it'll fall out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass right there. They had 3 defenders back. We've seen Messiah Jackson do that against West Florence, just throwing balls that he shouldn't throw, and that was not a pass he should have thrown. Nobody was open. Should have just tugged it, either ran it or threw it out of bounds.
Falls harmlessly to the ground, thankfully enough. It'll be second down and 10 now after they've used that empty set a couple times now. This time Cameron James lines up in the backfield along with Bruce Thompson, the fullback. And Thompson will lead the way for Cameron James, but this time the Knights are ready for it. And he'll be brought down by multiple Knights on the play. Number 8, Zion Washington, was the first one there to grab Cameron James for a gain of 1.
Yeah, he didn't get much push on that particular one. Like you said, they won the trench battle that particular time. Crestwood's defense did.
Third down and 9 for this Bruins offense, one of their longer third down situations of the game. This is a huge opportunity for Crestwood to keep them out of the end zone here. Jackson in the gun, hard count, gets the Knights to jump, looks like.
Yeah, he got number 39 to jump on that particular one. I think it was 39.
I think it was 38, Jordan Carter.
Thank you.
Jordan Carter, I think 19 as well. Quazon McMillan were a little anxious that time to get across, making it once again a much more manageable third down.
Yeah, Messiah Jackson's got a good call like that because he's already pulled him off sides 3 times, and I've seen him do it in the past as well. He's very good at it.
Take a free 5 yards on a 3rd and 9 like that. It makes it a much more open situation here. The Bruins can do a lot. Now empty set again with 2 fullbacks leading the way for Messiah Jackson, going left-hand side. Following his blockers does number 7, and he'll fight, and he'll have enough for the first down and more inside the 10. Still driving the pile. Rugby style does the Bruins going into the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Touchdown. Oh, they mark him on the 1.
How do you mark him on the 1 after all that effort? Now, personally, I thought that should have been blown dead around the 5-yard line when it was just everybody on top of everybody, but they let them push and push and push. And they almost pushed him into that end zone, James. That you don't see that very often when they let him keep doing it. That was a big pile. I mean, everybody's in the same place, and they just let it go.
A rugby-style scrum. They didn't blow him dead on that loss of that initial momentum and let the big boys help him out all the way to the 1.
If I was on the Crestwood side, I wouldn't have liked that call. I would have think they should have stopped the momentum.
Jackson all by himself. He'll keep it going right side, and it's too easy for number 7. Touchdown, Messiah Jackson. And the Bruins again score. It is now 34-0.
Once again, he got through there. Nobody touched him at all. That South Florence offensive line, once again, has just been dominating. And when you're dominating somebody like this, you can tell the frustration starting to happen on Crestwood.
Messiah Jackson, another rushing touchdown in this one. Coy Joyner on to kick. Snaps down, kick is up. Had trouble with that snap, but it is good. The Bruins now 35, Crestwood Knights 0 with 7:28 to go here in this third quarter of play. And again, another dominant drive to start the second half by the Bruins, Chuck.
Yeah, Cody is 5 for 5 on extra points at this point, so we'll give him a little credit. But this game right here is starting to, we already knew, it's starting to be a blowout, and they've got to make some type of adjustment just for their next week so that they can go into the next game with some type of positive momentum if you're Crestwood. If you're South Florence, you're going to keep putting it down to the metal and keep putting your foot down and getting this game to a point where it's over with.
Nothing left. No doubt left. Absolutely. A lot to work on for Crestwood. Their last 2 drives really to end that first half were self-inflicted wounds and penalties. Had excellent starting field position, but wasn't able to capitalize. Coy Joyner will try to pin them deep here to start this second half.
And we already talked about the foot he's got, so he's liable to pin them back again.
Jaden Martin and Braden Bolts back deep to return the kick. Joyner kick is away to the left side, and Bolts will watch it sail over his head to the 1, and it'll roll into the end zone, and they'll start at the 20-yard line.
You better be careful with letting that ball land in play and hoping it's going to run out of bounds, go into the end zone. We've seen it before where it stopped right on the end zone and jumped straight up in the air.
Right.
And your team's already like this. You just special teams, once again, just South Florence is really good at it.
Yates and the Knights offense has their work cut out for him here, as Bolts and Wofford will join him in the backfield. Jaden Martin, the receiver, to his right. He'll give it to Bolts running left side. Big running room for Braden Bolts there as he's bursting through to close to the 30-yard line near the first down marker. One of the best runs of the day for him.
Yeah, 9-yard gain, and luckily for South Florida, somebody got him right from behind because that dude saw daylight. He was about to score.
Second down and 1 now. Bolts to Yates's right and Wofford to his left. He'll call for the ball, fake it to Bolts, throwing right side, complete. It is caught by Martin on the outside, and he'll be tackled out of bounds. Gain of about 4 yards there, I think is where they mark him officially.
Yeah, he took a strong hit by number 21 just then. He was held up on the outside, and South Florence's player knocked the crap out of him, to be honest with you, outside of bounds.
Knocked him for about 6 yards there to be to the 35-yard line. A first down now for Crestwood on their opening drive here of the second half. And Bolts will take the carry going left side, but that Bruins defense there and crashing down. Multiple blue jerseys in the backfield to bring down Braden Bolts for a loss.
Terry Lowry's the one who got to him first and drug him down. That young man has been a great linebacker for South Florence now for 3 years. His senior year, we've seen him dominate. He's already got a sack tonight and now the second sack. Well, tackle for loss.
Huge loss there. It'll be a loss of 8 yards on the play. Second down and 18 to go. Play fake to Wofford now as Yates rolls to his right, trying to find a man, and he will just fling it out of bounds into the direction of the South Florence bench as I think he made it into a trash can.
I was going to say, he must have made it a trash can because everybody put their hands up like he just threw it in there. But a smart play by the young man. He was in duress. He was about to take a sack again, and he at least got it out of bounds, got it past the line of scrimmage, and got it out of bounds. And it looks like he made a goal, too. So It's not the right place you want to make a goal. You want it down at the touchdown area.
3rd down and 18 now for Crestwood here. Backs against the wall early on this drive. 5:40 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Pressure immediately. It's a screen underneath to Bolts as he's got running room, but he will be knocked down about 6 yards short of that 1st down marker. Flag flies late back at the line of scrimmage. We'll check on that.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to blow through there. South Florence luckily got in there at the not last minute, but that tackler. And that tackler took some punishment from that guy. He was hurt a little bit. Nice tackle, though, but at the same time, with that big back like that, running that speed. And once again, Crestwood has shot themselves in the foot again.
It has been poor execution has been the story of the game for Crestwood's offense so far. It is a procedure penalty that'll back them up another 5 yards. It'll be, goodness gracious, 3rd and 23 now for Crestwood in a situation they've been in probably a little too often so far tonight.
And most of it's been on their own fault for getting false, penalties. Now, they have sacked them a couple times, but most of it's been on them.
Third at the 21-yard line, looking to throw over the middle. Got a man wide open, but he overshot him. Jaden Martin was streaking across the middle of the field and just overthrown there by Yates.
That was almost a 78-yard passing touchdown from where he threw that ball. He was wide open, and we're talking about James maybe 6 inches overthrown.
Yeah, just out of the reach of his hands, outstretched there.
That would have been a big, big play for them. They needed it for even like next week, like I said.
Unfortunately now, Martin, after sprinting down the field, will retreat back to the punting position here on this 4th and 23. 5:15 to go.
That little young man does everything for them. Receive, punt,
plays defensive
back. And he is the one who got the interception, too.
Receives punts, all types of stuff. South goes after it, but he had time and a decent punt there, a net of about 25 yards or so. After all said and done, they'll have it right at the midfield line where Samaj Parker waved the fair catch.
Yeah, I mean, one positive that they can take right now if you're Crestwood is their punting game has improved throughout the game. He's had 3 pretty good punts back to back to back, but if you're Crestwood, you don't want to see him out there punting. You want to see him out there as a receiver catching the ball and scoring touchdowns.
Yep. Back on offense is the Bruins' Messiah Jackson, still in there to lead this drive. McLaughlin in the backfield, give up the middle to him, and a solid carry there by Gabe McLaughlin. He'll fall forward for 8.
That's one of his better runs tonight. They have been able to stop Gabe McLaughlin a little bit. He has not had the explosive plays that the quarterback has had, the quarterbacks and Cameron James.
I believe that was Krishan. Let's see, what was that? Krishan Miller was the one to bring that tackle. Number 10 for Crestwood. 2nd down and 3 now for Messiah Jackson. Looking to throw quickly right side. Caught Samaj Parker's got running room across the 30-yard line. Then still fighting, and he's thrown out of bounds there. A nice quick throw and catch there. Zion Washington threw him out of bounds, but it's enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, based on the season that Parker's had, tonight is his best game that we've seen. The young man needed this kind of game for himself, and right now I know you got Perkins, but the number 2 receiver right now on this team tonight has been Parker. He's played very well.
They've been waiting for him to emerge more and more into this offense, and that might be the reason they've left Jackson in to try to build up a little more chemistry with him. Jackson will look to throw again. He's going to look to the left side now into the end zone. Just overshot his man Malik Robinson one-on-one.
Yeah, Robinson actually became a defender just then to keep that pass from, or he at least tried to, because it looked like he tried to tip it over the guy's head, because that was very good coverage and a little bit of an overthrown ball.
Joseph Adams, number 21, was the man guarding Robinson on that play there.
Let's see what's going on.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 now for this Bruins offense as they're taking it nice and slow now with 4:08 to go here in this third quarter of action. Up the middle goes Gabe McLaughlin, and he's got running room. Breaking free into the secondary, Gabe McLaughlin brought down all the way inside the 5-yard line.
Now he's into the party with the rest of the running backs. He finally got himself a big, big run. I'm sure that young man wishes he could have stayed on the field a little longer because he wasn't far from getting a touchdown just then.
Immediately recognized the hole his offensive line made for him and burst through there, and nobody was touching him until he was over 10 yards downfield.
And Bruce is back in there, Bruce Thompson, to play fullback. He's a strong guy. I mean, he's short, but, man, he's thick. And thick in all the right ways, guys, not in the wrong way.
First down and goal for Jackson. He'll give it up the middle to McLaughlin as he's trying to punish the defender into the end zone, but a great tackle there by number 20, Amadre Ricks, to bring him down short of the goal line.
Gabe wanted that touchdown, but they have been able to at least stop him. I know that sounds funny, but he's had 2 good runs, but he's the one running back.
Quickly back to the line, and they'll give it to him again, and this time they won't stop him. Touchdown, Gabe McLaughlin.
We've seen it over and over and over again. They run the same play with different guys, and nobody's getting touched when they're at that 1-yard line.
Another rushing touchdown for the Bruins as the score balloons 41 Bruins with the point after tending. Nothing for Crestwood.
If they get this right here, James, it starts to go to a running clock after 42.
Snaps down, kicks on the way. Joiners got it, and we are officially in running clock territory with 3:08 to go here in this third quarter of action.
Yeah, this has just been a dominant performance by South Florence. Crestwood has not even been in this game. Their best drive, they got 20 yards. I don't think they've even got more than 80 yards in the game with special teams, with everything, James.
I'm sure Coach Nelson will have a lot, and they played so well in their non-region game, and they knew they had their work cut out for them playing against the reigning region champs, the reigning state champs in South Florence. But definitely a disappointing offensive performance for Crestwood so far tonight, having a couple of opportunities to put some points on the board and at least put up a little bit more of a fight, and just penalties and negative plays have catastrophized this game a little bit.
Yeah, that, and along with South Florence's rushing and just their whole balanced offense. I mean, I think the game would have kind of been out of hand anyway, but you can't shoot yourself in the foot like they have. I mean, South Florence just looks like way more dominating of a team than Crestwood.
Back deep for Crestwood, I believe it is number 9, Jordan Gadsden, and number 14, Jaden Archie. Back deep to return here. Kick is away, and it'll be received at the 6-yard line, going left side, and the Bruins just steamroll him at the 15.
Oh, they smoked him. 3 of them jumped up in the air. It almost looked like Roman Reigns with a spear. Wow, that boy got leveled.
They mark him at the 19, so they gave him a little bit extra there. But still.
Yeah, that was Jalen Isaac. I feel sorry for that young man. He got hit pretty hard. Now, when you're Crestwood, you've got to try to find something positive right now, some type of play. But it's got to be discouraging the kind of night you're having. And they have not started the running clock yet. Now they have.
Merrick Yates is still in the game at quarterback for Crestwood. In the backfield is Bolts. Bolts will take the carry going left side, shreds a tackler, but will be forced out of bounds. Maybe a loss of 2 there, as there was no room to run.
Yeah, there once again, South Florence swarms to the ball. That's what Coach Marlowe coaches and preaches. Hey, go after the tackler. One person can't always do it. Sometimes you need 2 or 3. Especially with some of the running backs that Crestwood does have. They just haven't performed tonight like I was thinking they would.
2nd down and 12 now. Yates will drop to throw. Throwing right side. Caught. It is Martin on the catch and immediately dragged down there by a horde of Bruins. Number 21, Jaquez Johnson on the tackle there. That'll be a gain of about 6 to 7 yards there. It'll bring it 3rd down and 5.
I mean, as far as if there has been a bright spot for them, it has been him as a receiver. Just one person can't do it all. We know that, James. Not on a normal basis. You got to have players, and they're just having a tough time tonight.
Brings up a 3rd down and 6 for Crestwood here. Wofford in the back. He'll fake it to him going down the field to Martin one-on-one, and another great play there by that South Florence secondary to knock the ball away.
That was Kennard Jett. I hadn't seen him playing as much. That might be one of those players that he was talking about. Let's get some people some extra time. That was a beautiful defensive play. He was step for step in coverage. Not a bad throw. It's just the coverage was that good.
This will bring up 4th down now, and Crestwood waving the white flag as, once again, poor Jaden Martin getting his cardio in after running those routes and then having to go back to punt this football. Clock running down here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to
it's penalty
play
flag.
Clock. Yes, the play clock does hit 0, and that looks like it'll be a delay of game penalty on Crestwood.
Not sure if the coach did it on purpose instead of taking the timeout, but it was a good time because it looks like the punter's tying his shoe right now. And it gives the punter a little rest since he's been running so much, knowing that we've already talked about him being the wide receiver and the kicker and the DB.
And the kickoff return, man.
Yeah, he's out there, and he's a sophomore. So give this young man a couple more years, and South Florence is going to find out if they put a team with him what kind of player he can be. And their quarterback is young as well, too.
Obviously, they have Bolts as well. A lot of young talent on this Crestwood team. I know this game is a little ugly, and they came into this game as underdogs, but Crestwood still a lot of season to go after this, and still a lot of region ball to be played.
Looks like they're going to let – nope.
Martin will barely get it away, shanks it off the side of his foot, a low dribbling kick. It'll cross the 50-yard line and will roll past the 45, and it'll be blown dead at the 42-yard line. And that will end this 3rd quarter of action. South Florence, it's been blue and gold all night here at senior night here in South Florence. The Bruins 42, Crestwood 0. And we're back for the 4th quarter of action of the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN after this break.
It's football season, which means it's time to head to Rivals, a store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grillers. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs at Rivals, a store divided.
We now return to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week presented by 96.3 ESPN Radio. We bring you 4th quarter action for the start of the first week of region play. South Florence up big, 42-0 over Crestwood here at senior night in the first region game of the season. And Chuck, I'm sure Coach Marlowe has a lot to go over with his team, but he's got to be pretty impressed with the dominant performance his team has put together so far through 3 quarters of play.
You would hope Coach Marlowe would find some joy in this game and not be disappointed at all, because South Florence has done everything he's wanted them to do except for the penalties. They played a magnificent game. Just then they did get South Florence just got a rush for about 9 yards. Looks like they got a first down, James.
Yep, Derek Davis in the game and a quarterback keeper running right through the middle of the defense there. They did give him enough for that first down on a gain of 10 across the 50-yard line at the 48 now. The Bruins slowing this pace down for this running clock here as Derek Davis with Cameron James in the backfield. Davis quarterback draw up the middle of the field, ball high and tight for Derek Davis as he's driving against multiple night defenders, and he'll gain about 5.
Yeah, he's a big dude too, James. I mean, he can run the ball now. I didn't ever see if he could run or not, but that's just the design South Florence has. And when you have that offensive line, you're already getting at least 3 yards deep every time.
Great first down play there for the Bruins as they begin to bring in a lot of their other younger players or just rotational players Ben Tyner seeing a little action here at that number 3 receiver spot. Samaj Parker and Malik Robinson still in the game at wide receiver. And Davis dropping to throw, looking right side over the middle of the field, and it is overthrown and intercepted, intended for Samaj Parker, the defensive back, dancing at the 10. He makes a man miss at the 20, breaks another tackle, still dancing at the 20-yard line, cutting back across the field, 25-30. He's got a block at the 40, 45, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at midfield.
Wow, what a run by that young man. And he forced that throw, Davis did. But at the same time, wow, what a return by that young man. I think he run out of steam. Otherwise, he has a touchdown because it didn't look like anybody was going to get to him.
Unbelievable run there. That is the second interception of the day for De'Aric Davis, as he's been airing it out tonight in his limited opportunities. Just off the mark from Samaj Parker there.
There's some negative for Marlowe to have. He's not going to like this quarterback coming in and throwing 2 interceptions when he's given him this opportunity.
Yates back in, trying to lead this night offense to some points. Up the middle goes Wofford, breaks a tackle, going right side, still dragging a Bruin across the first down marker and run out of bounds at the 39-yard line, or excuse me, the 41-yard line.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that I got to see on film with Wofford, where he has good speed and he can run, and he's a big dude, and it's hard to bring him down. That's one of their other best runs. I mean, it's hard to say that they've only had a few best runs, but that's really what we've seen tonight.
Wofford staying in the game at tailback. First down and 10 now for the Knights as the Bruins back off and hand to Wofford up the middle of the field. Following his blocks, he'll get to the 34-yard line. They'll mark him shy of the 35 at the 36, so it'll be second down and 5.
And you can tell the South Florence defense has changed a lot of players. I'm trying to get some of their numbers, and that might be why they're getting a little bit more yardage on them. They have younger players in there. Most of the seniors are out right this second.
Coach Marlowe, as we saw last year, loves to give his players that opportunity to play. Play action, throwing is Yates to the right side, outstretched arms, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 18 there for Crestwood. That'll bring up third down and 5. They tried to hit that play a couple of times in those situations, Chuck, and it just hasn't quite been there for the timing.
No, they're just having a tough time all around. But like I said, they have depleted South Florence's defense. Sophomores are out there, juniors are out there.
This time, handoff to Bolts going
good tackle
off the left side there, and he's got speed to the 30-yard line. But yes, a nice tackle there by number 21. That was Jaquiz Johnson. He's played a great game so far tonight. And number 7, that is Bolt. He is still down on the field after that tackle there. And the athletic training staff will go out there to check on that young freshman standout there.
Let's hope he'll be all right.
We will take a break and let that man get checked out. We will be back with more fourth quarter of action here on the Florence Game of the Week. South Florence up 42-0.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag installation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
More live action. It's the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week here in South Florence, up 42-0 over Crestwood. Thankfully, young Braden Bolts for Crestwood, the outstanding freshman prospect, is able to walk off the field under his own power with the help of that training staff. We hope that young man is okay. Quite the bright future in front of him.
Yeah, let's pray for that young man that doesn't have any serious injury. He was able to walk off on his own or with a little bit of help. Hopefully he will be all right. He's a young man. He will heal a lot quicker than someone like myself.
First and 10 now, as that nice run by Bolts led them to the 32-yard line. Now handoff up the middle of the field. This time it is the senior number 9, Jordan Gadsden, with the carry as he punishes a Bruin for a gain of 6.
Yeah, he did. He did land a pop on South Florida's defense. Man.
They'll mark him for a gain of 7 after that. It'll be 2nd down and 3 as we get to really see Jordan Gadsden for some of the first time tonight, the second leading rusher on this team. Yates, play action, looking to throw, but pressure in his face, and he's going to be sacked. Brought down from behind. I believe that was number 46. That is Xavier Mitchell. Came in off the edge and brought him down.
That's a sophomore. We're getting to see some of the players that we're going to see later on next year and the year after that haven't been playing as much this year. Good tackle for loss by that young man. I'm sure that will help him with his confidence as well.
That was a loss of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now for Crestwood here, as penalties and miscues have caused them to not be able to get plays like this. Yates will drop to throw, pressure in his face, throwing over the middle of the field, and a sliding catch is made. That is Jaden Martin over the middle of the field, and he's got it inside the 10 for a first down.
Yeah, he has been the bright spot, like I said, for the team so far. Biggest play of the game for them, to be honest, and now this is the best field position they've had as well. They've been inside the red zone before. Let's see if this time they can not have penalties and kick themselves out of the red zone, James. Last couple times they've either been sacked or had penalties that killed it.
Like you said, the penalties, they had a touchdown to Jaden Martin earlier in the game on a play very similar to that, a crossing route, but that holding penalty against the offensive line on Terry Gordon brought him back. This time it is a wildcat look. Wofford is the man to receive the direct snap up the middle of the field, banging off of Bruins for a gain of 3. That'll bring him to the 5-yard line.
The initial tackler popped him really hard, but he was able to gain an extra 2 yards after initial contact. They're getting closer to scoring, and I know that's what they need, like I said, for next week. Any momentum, anything positive will help you out, because after a beating like this, it's very demoralizing. If you get this touchdown right now, you're going to remember this touchdown. They will celebrate this touchdown because that's what you're supposed to do if they can get it.
Wofford in the backfield with Gamble to lead the way, and tripped up in the backfield. He maybe got back to the line of scrimmage there.
Unfortunately, he tripped himself up on that one. Nobody touched it. He had a touchdown, James. That was going to be their first one. He slipped right at the 2-3 yard line, and man, I wanted to see that.
Just that kind of night for the Crestwood Knights so far. Here, inside 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter of action. Crestwood knocking on the door for their first touchdown of the game, down 42. This time, Wofford going right off tackle, and the Bruins again meet him at the line of scrimmage. Terry Gordon and and that wasn't Terry Gordon. That was whatever that was in his position, and a couple other Bruins there.
Yeah, they got the younger team in there right now, but tell you what, that team's up there to stop them from scoring. They don't want them to score. Drew Marlowe's got to be happy with how his younger players are playing right now.
That will bring up a 4th down from the 5-yard line for Crestwood. In the backfield, that is number 1, the quarterback. He's going to try to throw it into the end zone, and one-on-one flags fly. Number 1 is Deshaun Chivrin, a DB wide receiver athlete who they had in there to throw that.
I think they're going to call pass interference on this play, possibly, James.
Pass was intended to Jaden Martin, but was wrapped up in coverage.
And that could be the first big penalty for Crestwood that keeps this drive going. And Drew Marlowe's not going to be happy about that because they could have ended the game right now.
That was a pass interference on the Bruins, which will reset the downs and give them half the distance to the goal, or it'll bring it down to the 1-yard line for the Crestwood offense.
Now they got their chance to score, and they've got 4 downs to do it. And I thought that was another penalty when he threw that flag up there, but they've got 4 downs to do this again. If you're Crestwood, you really need this.
Deshaun Scriven still in the game. And we're still getting some confirmation here from the officiating crew as the down marker still says 4th down.
It's got to be first down.
But I believe it should be first. They will snap it anyways. Up the middle goes Scriven to the 1, but they'll mark him short again.
Yeah, they stopped him short.
And they will turn the ball over on downs. I guess they could have called holding, I suppose, there in the end zone, and not pass interference was the official call to not give them that down reset there, I suppose, is the explanation.
I was going to say holding's automatically 10-yard penalty too, though, in the first down. If you're defensive holding, I'm not sure what happened just now. I don't know what they called.
Either way, the Bruins turn them over at the 1-yard line. 2:30 to go. Clock still rolling here as the Bruins are going to be able to hold this shutout, looks like, Chuck.
Yeah, it does look like it. I'm confused as to what I really am confused a little bit. But now the Bruins are starting inside their own end zone. This is the worst field position for them all night.
De'Eric Davis in the gun. Cameron James to his right. James trying to find that room off the right tackle, and he barely got out of the end zone before he's wrapped up there by number 20. That is Amadre Ricks to bring him down at the 1.
Yeah, he's lucky that wasn't a safety just now. That was close. That's the biggest, and I'm not sure if they've changed their offensive lineman out or not, but that was one of the best pushes for Crestwood all night.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. Clock at 1:30 to go here in the waning moments of this game. Davis standing in the end zone, quarterback power. He's just trying to get a little bit of space here as he does get out of the end zone and gains about a yard.
And they finished the play in the end zone, so this has been their best push all night. It's a little too late for you to start doing this if you're Crestwood, but got to be a positive sign. Like I said, anything for next week that could be positive.
Absolutely. Brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Bruins here on what will probably be their last drive of the game, just trying to avoid the safety. And this Crestwood defense obviously thirsty for some points. They'd love to be able to erase that goose egg off the board here by any means necessary here. 45 seconds to go. Give up the middle of the field. Met at the 1, but I believe he is able to get out of the end zone again. That was number 42 on the carry for the Bruins. I don't have a name for that young man, but it brings up 4th down, but the game clock is at 26 seconds. The play clock's at 27 seconds, but the referees will blow it dead here.
That is the 3rd straight play for them where they've barely got out of the end zone. Crestwood's defense has stopped them from gaining any yardage at all.
And another player down, another Crestwood Knight down in the end zone there.
Let's hope that young man's okay.
In on the tackle here in the waning seconds of this football game. Hate to see that for that young man, as we will try to get a number here momentarily.
Let's hope he's all right, bud. Because that's the worst thing you want to have is a big injury on a play like this at the end of the game so that he can't play next week or the week after possibly. He's still down right now, James.
The training staff grabbing him. They'll pull him up onto his feet now as we'll try to recognize that young man. I still can't quite see his number.
Is that 10? I think it's number 10, James. Can't see. It's either a 10 or a 6, but I can't.
He is able to walk off the field under his own power. We'll see maybe when he gets to the sideline if he'll turn around for this number here. But with the clock running down, it is just formalities at this point.
It's number 10, James.
Yes, sir. That is Joaquin Gamble, the sophomore linebacker, able to walk off the field under his own power. As the clock will now run, and that will do it. The final score officially now 42 South Florence, 0 for the Crestwood Knights. In the first region game of the season, South Florence makes an emphasis win. Chuck, what are your final thoughts?
Drew Marlowe is going to be pretty happy. He's got to be a little bit happy. South Florence is going to be tough to beat in this region. There's only a couple teams we haven't seen in the region so far. And so far, South Florence is the best one we've seen.
Absolutely. I would agree with
dominating
that.
performance. They're moving their way back to another state championship, James. That's
Again,
what they're
peaking
going for.
at the right time like they did last year, 100%. Next week, South Florence is on a bye. Then they will go to Darlington. This is their last home game of the season until they play on Halloween night against Hartsville. And then for Crestwood, they will play at Lower Richland next week.
And, James, one thing we'll announce also is we will actually be on a bye as well next week, so there will be no ESPN football game of the week. We will return the following week.
We will see y'all the first weekend of October. Until then, be safe and have a great night.
You've been listening to the 96.3 ESPN Radio High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Galloway Auto Glass.